All right, I'm here with my one-on-one client, McCall. She is just graduating our Fit Set one-on-one program. Can you believe 12 weeks flew by?
No, I can't. It went by so incredibly fast.
I
So
know.
fast.
So crazy. So McCall, you lost 14.8 pounds down, new low today, like almost
Yes.
a few days after you've graduated, and then over 15 inches in 12 weeks. Came to me postpartum. So can you kind of tell us where you were at 12 and a half weeks ago when you joined the program? Like what were the emotions you were feeling? What made you join?
Yeah. I felt like just really stuck in a rut. I felt like, I had lost a decent amount of my, baby weight and pregnancy weight, but I had kind of gotten stuck. And I just felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't being mindful of what I was eating. I just didn't have the resources I felt like that I needed to be the best version of myself. And so I am fully aware when I am not the expert in something. And so I was like, I really need to lean on somebody who knows what they're doing and who can also motivate me and hold me accountable, because I also was just, it's really easy to say like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that. But I was having a hard time sticking to something, especially with a busy schedule. There was just always a reason to not work out or to like eat a really quick something that ended up being unhealthy. And I also just felt like my relationship with fitness and nutrition was just not necessarily positive or good. And I wanted to change that and be a better example, for my family and my kids and be a better version of myself. And so that's really what motivated me to make a serious change and to, reach out to you, Jess, and really start taking my health and fitness and eating and all of that really seriously, and just to be more mindful about it.
Yeah, and when we did our consult, I remember you because you have two kids, you work full time, like ideal clients. Instagram is doing the algorithm thing perfectly,
Yes.
where I think all of our clients are in the busy season of life and just wanting to find sustainability and just being able to fit in fun foods. Like that was something important for me. Like your son is two, right? You have a two
Yes.
that's gonna want to start to have fun treats here and there. And yeah, if you're having a negative mindset around food, like how can we move past that and how can we
Right.
incorporate those things and find some sustainability for you and to also get you killer results, which you did. Your photos just I can't believe them. Ah,
I'm so happy. I mean, and that to me, what is like the key here is like, it wasn't just like, oh, it's 12 weeks and I'm done with the program, like out of sight, out of mind, never have to think about it. I feel like my entire like life has changed, like I, I go and look in the mirror and I like my body. Like I can't tell you the last time like I felt that way pre-kids, honestly. And even before even pre-kids, like I had some really bad body dysmorphia and I would nitpick my body. And I'm I'm finding I'm having more positive thoughts about my body. But also, like you said, the sustainability factor and just learning things that are going to impact my relationship with fitness and nutrition now for the rest of my life, and that can also then impact my kids. I mean, my kids are eating more protein in their diet than I feel like they ever did before, because and a more balanced diet just in general, because I have more knowledge about what I'm putting on their plate, and that is I mean, that's huge.
yeah, and that's as parents, there's no guide, right? Like we just are all kind of winging it, and the things we should have been taught in high school, protein, fiber, like just nutrient foods, and then also at the same time pizza or cookies. How can we fit that in and not tell our kids, no, we can't have that. That is no bad foods, all right? Like just no more of that good and bad foods, but it's all food all nutrition, all of the food has a nutritional value that serves a purpose from time to time. Most of your
Yeah.
meals you get protein and fiber. So I'm glad that you feel more confident with that.
Yeah.
With the working out, the nutrition aspect of the program, were there any learning things, like any takeaways that you feel you learned in the last 12 weeks that changed?
Oh my gosh, so much. Yes. I've learned, well, I mean, a million things, but with as far as fitness goes, I've learned how important it is for me to actually have a fitness routine and what it does for my mental health and how beneficial it is to me. Um, I enjoy working out. Of course, when I'm in the middle of it and it's hard and it hurts, I'm not like, oh yeah, this is great. But I love how I feel after it. I love how I get excited, to work out. Not always, don't get me wrong. There are days when I'm not motivated, but I look forward to like the me time often, and the routine and the habit, and I've learned, how capable I am, and I'm stronger than I like ever have been before, and that I thought I could be. And um, also just learning like how my body responds to different movements, different exercises. I feel like I understand the physical state of my body a lot more. And then on the nutrition side of things, oh my gosh, I feel like my entire perspective of eating and nutrition has changed. I before would just kind of eat things out of convenience, or eat things out of boredom, or because they were here because it sounded good or whatever, and not thinking it all about nutritional value. Whereas now I make choices about what I eat based on, okay, is this going to keep me full? Is this, what is the nutritional value of this? Why am I eating this? Why am I eating right now in general? What sounds good and why does that sound good? I mean, I'm just a lot more in tune with the things I'm putting in my body. And also, I know, it's so great. And
Good.
like I said, that translates to my kids, and I feel better because I'm just eating better. I mean, I would hardly eat protein before. Like I realized that it was just not something that was incorporated into my diet. And that's why I would snack a lot and eat a lot of like crummy foods, because I was never full.
Full. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, I mean, having protein and fiber in my diet has completely changed just how I eat and what I eat, because I'm actually giving my body things that it needs to feel full. Crazy.
And you just came back from a trip, right? A 2-week trip, and you were able to kind of put those habits in to the test and tested it. And you were very regimented, but also had some times where you were more flexible and were able to fit in some more fun foods with family. So again, just being able to across the board with the kids and with vacations. Last night you had a neighbor night and you were able to be a little bit more flexible and test it. And then today you dropped weight, right? Like
Yeah.
you were just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, right, exactly. Like I said, I would eat so mindlessly before. I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't just about anything. I would just be like, oh, I want this, and I would eat way past feeling full. I in the last 12 weeks, I have not had one instance where I felt, oh, I'm so uncomfortably full, which I can't tell you how often. I mean, we all know that feeling. And I mean, granted, eating in a deficit, like obviously helps with that, but it's, I don't miss that feeling at all. Like that doesn't feel good. And then you wake up the next day and you feel bloated, and like that's just not good for you. And I've never really benefited from that. So, I feel like I'm getting to know like what my body actually feels like now when it's full and not too full, and times like that when I'm on vacation or not necessarily tracking something but eating intuitively, like that's when that becomes so key.
Yeah, yeah, and as I say, the whole 12 weeks, right? Every client that joins, I'm like, it's a tool to help you learn about the nutritional value, but we also want that to translate into what does it feel like and look like when you're not tracking, and how does
Mhm.
intuitive eating come into play for your future? And I feel like you're doing really good starting to test that and test the waters and slowly trying to ease out of tracking as much. And again, that that's a resource you can use and go back to, but it's not an obsession. It's not the world. It's not everything. I know some people get so caught up into it. So I feel like you've had a really healthy approach with kind of the working out and the nutrition aspect. Like we're just finding again a more balanced approach for everything in your life, which is so good to hear. Uh,
Yes.
and yeah, is there anything that you want anybody to know about like the program, your experience? Is there anything somebody's like contemplating joining? Let's say let's talk to you 12 weeks ago.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
what can we say? Like if they're like, I don't, it's a big investment, which it is. There's a
Yes.
reason, right? The psychology behind it. I light a fire under your butt.
Oh
So
my, well, yeah, I mean, I feel like it has to be. And I think that, okay, yeah, I mean, if I was going back 12 weeks and talking to myself, I would not hesitate for 1 second to say, do this. One, because I've had such a wonderful experience and I just loved working with you and I just loved the approach. But two, because I mean, like I said, it really has just changed my life in like one of the most fundamental ways, in like, you know, understanding my body. If you, I mean, that has a direct impact on my entire life and how I feel about my body. And I think I'll get back to that, but I think the investment part is really important because yeah, it's not, pocket change, but
What
that fact,
effort, right?
no, right, but the fact that I had invested a lot of money into this was, I mean, one of the reasons, there were days where I was like, oh gosh, like I just want to throw in the towel, that would keep me from doing it. I mean, well, I'm not going to waste that money. And that's not, that's not the only reason, but that certainly helps. You would just like you invest in all different aspects of your life in therapy, or in like a, property or whatever. Why aren't we spending that same kind of money investing in our health? You're not going to be able to do any of that other stuff if you're not investing in yourself. So
And as
to
mom,
me,
it's so hard to do that, right? Like the mom guilt. I know,
so hard.
like, oh, I'd rather spend that money on the kids. I know, like, I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
On this
Yes.
side, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I'm so glad I did it. And at first I was like, oh gosh, like, should I not? And I'm so glad I did. And my husband was like, do this, invest in yourself. And I would do it, I would go back and do it a million times over. And also I've just, me feeling good about myself has translated into my personal life, my professional life. Like I feel I have this new sense of confidence that I never felt before. And it's not just about my physical appearance. I mean, it is my physical appearance. I
Inward though,
feel great
right?
about
You feel
inward.
it internally.
Yes. And it's so crazy when I went on this last work trip in June and I was interacting with clients and I was carrying myself on this work trip. I noticeably felt more confident about myself and who I was as just a professional and a person as a whole. And there were things that had nothing to do with how I looked. And I truly feel like it was just because I have become this better version of myself physically, mentally, just entirely. And that has translated to my professional career as well. And I think that's incredible. And that, I mean, you're not just talking about, your physical appearance. And that is, I mean, that's invaluable to me. So whatever the,
Right? But like, yeah,
exactly.
internally you felt, and we were talking about that before you went. I was like, I'm curious because with your profession, like you gotta
Yeah,
be kind of like a strong, like, you know,
yeah,
badass. And
yeah,
felt you truly felt like that the whole trip, and you just felt,
I did.
and clients are gonna see that, people
Yeah,
are gonna see that. So you're feeling more confident work wise in your personal life, with your marriage, you're feeling good, you're feeling
yeah,
sexy. That has an effect with your kids, you're feeling more energized, right? Like it all has,
100%.
yeah, the energy spirals out to everything that you do. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad because you definitely, and I noticed that, like and in your
Oh,
picture, it's like the smile like got bigger each week. You're like,
yeah. Yeah.
like, and just like the confidence from within, and yeah, looks aside, like it's just again how you feel internally. And I think as moms, so many moms forget that we can feel our best, and it's not for anybody else, but it's just for you, and it
Yeah.
will have an added benefit to everything else in our life, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it really has. I mean, even when I go through stressful times at work now, like I'm in one right now, and I was talking to my mom yesterday, and we were just like, wow, imagine how I would feel right now if I didn't have, if I wasn't taking time for myself, if I wasn't working out, if I wasn't eating right, if I wasn't focusing on my sleep, like the stress that I'm feeling right now would be so exacerbated because everything else in my life was a cluster. And the fact that I have that those parts of my life together make the stress of work so much more manageable because I'm taking care of me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like that's the foundation, right? Is you and I when we're on the airplane, every coach says the airplane quote. Who do they say to put the oxygen
Yeah, on yourself. Yep,
on
but
yourself,
it's so
right?
true.
It's the foundation, but as a mom and as a busy professional, it's so easy, I think, for so many women to just kind of let it all of our priorities go to everybody else and everything else, and then you're on the back burner and you end up miserable. So it's
I
just
mean, I
it's
did that for years and it
yeah,
did
so
not go well.
right, it's so good, and it is like it's good to be selfish and take care of your health because again, you're adding years onto your life. You're adding that positive energy, all the benefits. So I'm just so proud of you. And
Thank
yeah, I just
you.
want to say thank you for being consistent. That's the main thing with clients is like the consistency. And I love when I get you're very organized. You're very
I am.
we're all of our community is like type A, like we're very motivated, strong-willed, like organized, and it can help. But when the motivation goes away, you're consistent. You were very consistent the 12 weeks. So it's been just so good seeing you grow and seeing your confidence come out. And like you made 2 fitness reels. I'm like,
Did I know who am I?
the views on them were really good. I was like, dang.
Sure. I was like, oh, okay, okay, we like the fitness content.
I like it. Yeah, your crowd was like here for it. So keep it coming like that, and that's like the confidence, right? I know it's hard being like on social media, like, oh, my friends, and we talked about this before we graduated. I'm like, post the dang reel, like post it,
Yeah.
because you never know what mom you're gonna inspire, like out of the people, connected in your life. There is another mom out there that's probably feeling the same way you were 12 weeks ago, whether they work with me or not, but like just for them to get started in their own way is just so good to have that inspiration from you and to show like you're very relatable. You work full time, you have 2 kids, you're very busy. And if you can do it, I think that shows that other moms can do it too. And
Yeah.
it has
Oh
not
my
been
gosh, if I can do it, literally anybody can do it. I mean, I was like, I feel like I was always like, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I was the queen of I don't have time, and I love that I am no longer that person because that was just not a healthy place to be. And so I mean, thank you for just being such an incredible coach and mentor and friend. And I'm so glad that you came into my life. And I really truly feel so grateful to you because I never could have done this without you and I wouldn't have wanted to. So thank you.
so proud of you. Thank you for everything too. Yeah, just keep it up. I'm excited to continue watching your journey and just yeah, keep the fitness content coming.
I will. I
And
will.
yeah, for anybody watching, again, I'm gonna post this testimonial on YouTube. If you're interested in joining, link in my bio, and then yeah, just we do a quick consult, right? I'm not like a pushy salesperson, right? Like, did you feel good on our call? Like, it's a
Oh my
consult.
gosh, no, I did not feel like you were a pushy salesperson at all.
I
No,
just
I was like, I honestly, I was like, oh gosh, well, I hope she wants me.
Yeah, like it's an organic call. And that's the thing. Some people I know aren't going to fit for the program. They don't, what I offer doesn't resonate with them, and that's okay. And I'm not a perfect fit for everybody. But again, like it makes me so happy the people like you who it does resonate with, and it really helps change. That's my goal again, is to help you, and you're helping everybody else in your life. And so just proud of you. So yeah, if anybody's watching this and interested, click the link in my bio. My website has the application. You just fill out the consult. We just do a quick call, see if it's a good fit. But yeah, I just want to thank you. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you. So keep it
Thank
up,
you.
okay?
Thank you. And for anybody watching, do it. You will not regret it at all. Best decision ever.
Oh, thank you.